One of the universities where I was previously employed held multiple active shooter event drills. Those were always exciting, but also very educational. I'll share with you 10 key things I've learned from those drills. First, remain calm. Don't panic. Panicking will negatively impact our decision-making abilities. In a disaster situation, we certainly want to retain our ability to think, so try to remain calm. Second, situational awareness is crucial. One key thing we should do, or should have done already, is to familiarize ourselves with the building where we work or study. We want to know our building intimately well. Particularly, we want to know where the exits are. Not just the entranceways and exits that the public use every day, but all the hidden ones too. All the emergency exits, maybe there are doors that lead to the outside in the kitchen of the cafeteria. Perhaps the building has a loading dock in the back that also leads to the outside. Or maybe there is a door that opens up to the roof of the building where there is a fire escape. We just simply want to know everything about the building. The little hidden passageways, a staircase that is out of public view and is rarely used. Maybe there is a large window on the ground floor that can open and serve as a way out. All these might come in handy in a disaster situation. We want to know every possible way out and every possible secure hiding place in the building. Third, we have probably all heard of the famous run, hide, fight advice. In an active shooter situation, the first thing we would want to do is to remove ourselves from that situation. In other words, we want to run away. This is why it is so important to know all the possible exits. And when deciding which way to run, we want to remember, trust our eyes, not our ears. Experts have highlighted that the sound of a gunshot echoes in a building, which makes it difficult to tell which direction the shot is actually coming from in a complex building structure. So we might feel like we heard the shot coming from one way, when in fact, the shooter is in the opposite direction. So in a situation like this, trust our eyes, not our ears. Number 4, if we cannot run away, we need to hide. And there are a few things we need to consider here as well. Concealment, cover, security, and exits. A concealment is a place where the shooter does not directly see us, but it is not bulletproof. We could hide behind a door or a dry wall, but bullets can easily go through these things. A cover stops bullets, such as a thick wall or a large pillar. Look at this university instructional video regarding active shooter events. They made this actor hide behind a wooden door, which bullets can easily go through. She could move a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, so that she is behind a wall instead of a door. Another point to consider is whether the hiding place has multiple exits. If we hide in a public restroom where there is just one way in and out, the shooter comes in through that door, we would probably find ourselves in trouble. But if we hide in a small hallway with both ends connected to staircases, if the shooter comes in one way, we could still exit through the other, and that would be better. Now, if we did find ourselves hiding in a secure room with just one door, then we might want to barricade it. Hopefully the door opens in and we could just line up furniture from the door all the way to the opposite wall, making the door really difficult to open. And also remember to silence our phones when hiding. Number 5, fight. A few things we need to know here too. If one ever had to directly fight against an active shooter, this would be a life or death situation, so fight with everything you got. This is not going to be a friendly fight or an exhibition match. It's life or death. So use everything in the surrounding that can be improvised and turned into a weapon. And team up with other people. One could go for the gun, one could go for the legs, and one could go for the head. Fight to incapacitate. Number 6, be very careful with the police. The police officers who just arrived on scene may or may not know exactly what's going on, what the shooter is like, who the shooter is, or how many shooters there are. So if we encounter police officers as we're trying to run away, be very careful. Keep your hands up and indicate to the police officer that you are not the shooter, that you are not a threat, that you are just an innocent member of the public who's trying to escape from this dangerous situation. One does not want to be able to escape from the shooter only to be shot by the police. So be very cautious when encountering police on scene. Number 7. Generally speaking, in an active shooter situation, it is probably better to try and stay away from other people, stay away from crowds. This is because, more likely than not, the objective of the shooter is to kill and injure as many people as possible. Let's imagine, say you're hiding in some place and you could choose to hide either by yourself or with a group of people. You'd probably want to hide on your own. Because if the shooter comes in and sees there is one person here and a group of people over there, he's probably going to fire in the direction of the crowd in order to cause maximum damage. So don't cluster with groups and crowds if you could avoid that. Number 8, do not automatically run with a crowd. Think and judge for yourself. One of the reasons for this we just talked about, do not cluster with many other people in a situation like this. And another reason is that the crowd may actually be running in the wrong direction. Perhaps one person just instinctively runs a certain direction and more people join that person and form a crowd. They could be running in the wrong way. They may be running into danger. So here again, we want to remain calm and judge the situation for ourselves. Trust our eyes, not our ears. Trust our own judgment. Do not automatically and blindly follow the crowd. Number 9, when running away from the shooter, especially when the shooter is still able to fire in our direction, consider running in a zigzag pattern and running from cover to cover. Do not simply run in a straight line. By running in a zigzag pattern and running from cover to cover, one decreases the probability of a direct hit. Number 10, as a last resort, if we're stuck someplace and there is just one way in and out, and there is the probability that the shooter might come in there, try to put ourselves out of the line of fire. Get fully down on the floor or hide on top of a tall file cabinet. Get really low or really high, thus removing oneself from the usual and common lines of fire. Just like running in a zigzag pattern and running from cover to cover, the idea is to remove oneself from the line of fire and to reduce the probability of a direct hit. Hopefully, we will never need to use these things in real life. Unfortunately, these events are getting increasingly common, so I do think it is important we take precautions, familiarize ourselves with the building, get to know all the exits and possible ways out, and develop a mindset so that there would be this mental mechanism which could hopefully guide us to safety in case of an active shooter event.